to a citizen, fool. Citizen to a citizen, fool.
Key to life.
Another one.
And now, our feature presentation.
Pause, yeah.
All right. Welcome back, citizens, and welcome to another episode of
Pause.
All right, today we're going to be talking about carjackings. You know, how often they happen, states where it's more likely to happen, what to do if you're involved in a carjacking or if you're faced with that situation. But first, I want to go ahead and roll in a clip of a female that happened to come across some carjackers when she was driving in a neighborhood that she's been driving in for the past 30 plus years. So I'll roll that clip in.
Showing a woman in Oakland, California, narrowly escaping a potential carjacking. You see it right there. Fox's Amber Lee has more on the ongoing investigation.
They pulled in front of me. The guy jumped out, ran towards me with the gun.
The attempted carjacking victim asked us not to reveal her identity. She describes what happened to her Friday morning around 8:30.
I thought he fired off 3 shots. Apparently he was rapping on the window.
She says a second suspect, who may be a woman, tried to open the passenger door.
I punched it, I went around their car, and I drove away as fast as I could, trying to get someplace safe.
But as she sped away, the suspects chased her in their white Dodge Charger for a short while until she pulled into a safe place nearby and got help.
I had the horn going, and I was driving fast and hard, and I wouldn't let him get up next to me. Yeah, it was scary.
She tells me her ordeal started a short while before the suspect driver blocked her SUV. She says she first noticed the white car when the driver pulled up next to her along Skyline Boulevard and then passed her before eventually stopping to block her.
You got to have a plan. You got to be aware. And, you know, you can't just la down the road anymore.
At this time, we have someone identified in that case.
Police say the same suspect may be linked to other carjackings in the East Oakland Hills.
An arrest is imminent of that person, but at this point, I cannot discuss any further.
Investigators say carjackings are up. At this time last year, there were 336. So far this year, 369, a 10% increase. Police say the attempted carjacking victim did the right thing by going to the nearest place where she can get help. She says she's driven in the area for 38 years, but now taking a different route, at least for a while.
Very fortunate that no guns were fired, no cars were crashed, no people were in the street. I feel very fortunate.
All right, so as you can see, I personally think that she handled it very well, right? I'm only making the assumption that this female that was driving was unarmed. She knows the neighborhood. She knew where to turn. She knew where to head to get to a safe place. So they pulled aside her first, and that's when, you know, she first got a little bit concerned, I guess, you know, based on what she was saying. And then afterwards they pulled ahead, and then they cut her off. Well, they cut her off. The guy came out with gun in hand and started to point it at the car, which it's amazing. I'll stop here. This isn't a commercial for a dash cam, but I would encourage anyone and everyone to get a dash cam. I mean, I may sound like a hypocrite because I don't have one right now, because the one I want a specific one. It's a little expensive. I mean, it's not too expensive if it's going to help me out or give me some sort of sanity. I'm not making it a priority because the only thing it's going to do is record. That's not going to help me very much if I lose the fight, right? At least they'll know who did it or have an idea. All right. But back to it, she sees them coming. You got the one guy with the gun running towards the driver's side of the car. And then you have the other person who is masked up, who is either a female or a very zesty male carjacker.
Are you gay, bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
The way he or she was running towards the car. Honestly, I could tell, in my opinion, I mean, I'm not a carjacker, but you know, they didn't have a plan. I don't know what they were doing, because if you're jacking a car, right, two people are not getting out, because somebody has to go back into the other car and drive it away, right? So why are both of you getting out the car? But I digress. I don't know. Let me stay on topic here. So the lady was alert and aware enough to go ahead and hit the gas, drive around the car, and start to speed off. In my opinion, she did the right thing for a unarmed female or unarmed male. And for that matter, an armed, even if she was armed and knew how to use her pistol, I think the quicker reaction and the more logical reaction was get out of the line of fire, and then you know, find a place. If the pursuit continues and you have no place else to go, you know, then you go ahead and you, by that time, you know, you have your gun out, you're loaded, and you're ready to engage that target, right? You have to understand, if you haven't done any type of let me show clear. If you haven't done any type of training, vehicle interdiction with your firearm, or shooting out of a car through glass, I don't recommend it. I did it once, and it wasn't. You know, it's a very, very sobering situation to know that you're more likely to get shot or killed inside of a car trying to protect yourself than you are outside of the car. So a lot of times, or during that particular training, you know, the goal was to get out of the car and seek cover, right? If you can in this situation. Being in a confined space, you know, you can't move, you can't maneuver properly. There's only so many places you can lean and go, and that one person is steady shooting into the car. Do bullets go through car doors?
Come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
Yes, they do. You know, do they go through glass? They do. Does it go straight? Well, it depends on the caliber, it depends on the distance, it depends on the speed. Sometimes a bullet will enter through the glass and then change trajectory. And you know, if it's a heavy caliber bullet, it might just go straight through and hit the intended target with no issues, right? So these are all factors you have to take into consideration. What I would do if I was alone in the car, I would do exactly what that lady did. Get out of the danger zone, get off the X, and try and get away from them, perhaps to a safe place, or a place where I can get some distance between myself and the pursuers, and then get out of the car, position myself properly, and then defend myself properly. Same thing, if I was in with family, friends, I would try to get them out of harm's way first and go from there. Now, do you also have the option of drawing your weapon and defending yourself right there? It all depends on how much training you have, how fast you can get that out of your, if you're appendix carry, get it out of your holster. You know, when I appendix carry, which is now 100% of the time, if I get into a car, I make sure I take the seat belt and I put my shirt behind the grip of the pistol, and then I put my seat belt behind the grip of the pistol. So I always have access to it right here. I don't ever take my pistol out and put it in my armrest. That's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion. I don't have one of those holsters that you bolt to the inside of the console. I don't have one of those or anything like that. I want it to where I have a natural draw. I have a natural draw from sitting down. I've practiced this. I practiced this draw standing up and squaring off. That's just me. Your miles may vary. You may have another way to go ahead and do it.
Pew, 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 pew.
But that's what this is for, just to share the information and to get some feedback. What are our experienced shooters? What are they thinking? What would they do to get out of this situation? Would you stay and fight? Would you get off the X and get some distance between you and these carjackers? You know, especially if it's two of them, you don't know if both have a gun, and it's just you with a gun in the car, or you without a gun. I mean, I'm thinking if you don't have a gun, you're probably going to go ahead and get out of there, right? So kudos to this lady. She was aware of her surroundings. She felt something was off, and she reacted accordingly. Funny enough, no cars got hit, no dents, so she really came out on top. But now she lives in fear, right? Because, you know, she takes this way home every day. She doesn't know if somebody's watching her. You know, so she's living in fear any car that pulls up next to her. So that's the downside of that. But there are a lot of positives to take away from this. She lived to see another day. The carjackers, would-be carjackers, they have somewhat of a description. They're out looking for them. I tried to look for a follow-up story. This actually happened about 3 months ago, but I didn't see anything. Anyway, share your experience if you've had one. You know, share your hypotheticals. Let me know what you would go ahead and do.
All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.